think? She's getting there. So I'm sitting in the drunk tank. It's like 2 o'clock in the morning, and this drunk guy comes in, just hammered. And he's in his cell, and he's beating the crap out of the walls and yelling and doing this, that, and the other thing. And he finally calms down, and he's like, "Jailer, can I talk to you for a minute?" And nobody responded, so I'm like, opportunity. I was like, "Yeah, what do you need?" He's like, "Can I come out and talk to you?" I was like, "No." He's like, "Well, why not?" I was like, "'Cause you're white." Welcome back to Whiskey Dents. We have a really good episode today. Don't you go anywhere. You're already late. Come on. So if you're new to the channel, welcome. This is what we have. It's a beautiful 66 Ford sitting on Crown Vic suspension. I extended it 39 inches and now I'm going to weld this cab to it. First thing I'm going to do is get these edges cleaned up, and then I have a frame inside the garage that I need to get cleaned up as well. I'll push it all together. The one inside the garage, I'm also going to have to notch it like I did right here. So pitter patter, let's go and get at her. So this is what I was referring to a moment ago. It's the door sill, or whatever you want to call it, door pocket. Anyways, on the other cab, this is exactly what I cut out, and it fits splendidly, so I'm going to mark this out and do it again. So this is pretty self-explanatory what I'm doing here. Basically just going to mimic this exactly, which was 3 inches. So here's what I do. I put my finger on there and I just kind of run along it. This thing's so dirty you're not going to be able to see it very well. I'm not sure if this is undercoat or if somebody's just driving around in the pasture or what was going on, but definitely something stuck to it. I'm not sure what it is. So, High Octane Garage talked me into putting this thing on airbags. I was thinking about it before, and I don't know, I was kind of on the fence. But after speaking with him, I'm like, you know what? Let's do it. So hopefully next week I can get some parts ordered, and when we got this cab a little better together, and you know whatnot, we'll start fabricating and getting that air ride in there. So anyways, I'm gonna cut this and I'll be right back. So I'm just gonna lop this off, make it look like the other side. Who else is still here? Drop a comment. I love hearing from you guys. Go on, don't be shy. Hurry up. Hurry up, it's almost over. All right, so I got that all cut out. Here's the piece. So now I need to clean up this edge along the door, because this is going to be connecting with the existing cab. So I want it to be as straight as possible so that when I start putting sheet metal on here, I'm not having to monkey around too much. So let's get that cleaned up quick, and then we'll go do some fitting on the truck. So I got the other one all nice and cleaned up. So now I'm going to follow this as close as I can get it. It's probably just going to take a little bit out of there, actually. That's going to be close enough, I believe. So yeah, I'll get that trimmed up, and then we'll bring that other piece out and see what we got. Just when you think you're starting to get close, you're not. So you trim some more, and you think you're close, but you're still not. And you do that 17 more times, and then, and only then, you might be close. Back to you, Bob. Where the hell's Bob at anyway? All right, so it's just crudely set in there right now. As you can see, I'm getting pretty close. I still need to trim a little bit more out of here. I should be able to push it all the way in there tight, and then we'll tack it on there for fun. Why not? Let's do it. If somebody can find me a really good tune that's not going to demonetize these eventually, feel free to send it my way. Anyways, I'm pretty much just clearancing this stuff so that it'll all fit in there nice and flush. Just about got it. Looks like it's there. I should probably grab the welder. Woohoo! Getting closer every day. Well, would you look at that? She's real close. Top is looking good. Everything's lining up the way it should. The reason I needed to cut this out is because obviously when it's a suicide door, I'm gonna have to have the hinges on the inside. So I cut that completely out. But I kind of wish I wouldn't have, because I think I figured out a better way that I'm going to try on the other side. So we'll see. But anyways, this is where we're at. I think I'm going to tack this on just for fun and stick a door on there. Yeah, why not? Okay. I got it tacked on a few spots. Set a door in there and see what it looks like. So exciting. Look what I can do. Well, if it was easy, you'd see them all over the place. But anyways, that's what it looks like. I still got a million miles to go. I still have to get this gap right. We're gonna have to move the bottom of this door out just a little bit, I think. Or I should say the back of the cab will need to go back just a little bit further, because the door doesn't actually fit in the opening right there right now. But we're gonna get it. It looks good. We just need to tweak on it a little bit. All right, so it's 5 o'clock in the morning. It rained all night. The old girl sat out there, and yeah, she's pretty wet. So the plan is to get it back in the garage, turn the heat on, and see if we can't dry it out a little bit, and then we'll get working on it. Also, some exciting news. Yesterday, Classic Car Revivals dropped off a 5-speed for me. So real soon here, we're gonna have to pull that motor out of that dually that's sitting over there, and then we'll have a motor and transmission for the old crew cab. Pretty excited about that. We will have to make our own motor mounts, transmission mounts. We can start figuring out a drive shaft. Lots of cool stuff coming up. It's way too early in the morning to actually be doing work. Anyways, with all that put together, it was way too much for me to pull in there. So I had to start pulling parts off. But as you'll see, I tell you that here in a second. So not going so in. It's gotten too heavy for me to be able to pull it back in here, because it's kind of uphill. So I'm probably going to pull that front clip off. If I still can't get it, I'll probably pull the box off. So yeah, good times. I feel like Johnny Cash hauling stuff out in his big lunchbox, doing it one piece at a time, and it didn't cost him a dime. What do you guys think? I think that every time I take that box up there, I'm creating more body work for myself. Man, I need to hire an assistant or something. Get a skid steer. Something. Okay, hood's off, box is off. The whole front clip is sitting outside in the rain. Really thought that one out well. And did I mention I hate pine trees? This stuff is all over. Again. Anyways, I'm gonna turn the heat on, see if I can't dry this out a little bit. And then we're gonna start monkeying with these doors again. We gotta take a bunch of material out of there, or we need to revamp the doors a little bit. I'm thinking about cutting another door in half, but I don't know. It's an awful lot of work again. But I got spares, so we'll do some thinking on it and see if we can't get that pushed together and figure it out. Little by little, we'll get there. All right, so we had the heater on for about a half an hour. Air's starting to get a little thin in here, and it's dry enough. Anyways, so I'm trying to get this squared up, and the back is sitting up too high. So my original cab mounts, I'm gonna cut those loose so that I can bring the back end down. I'm probably gonna cut it all apart, to be honest with you, and then we'll start rebuilding from there. Because it's just not sitting right. And to do it right, we might have to take a couple steps back, but we'll get going in the right direction eventually. So let's go. Yeah, cutting stuff again. I plan on reusing that. I'm just going to need to modify it a little bit. I think it only needs to come down like maybe an inch. So the way I designed it was I can just remove the two spacers and then drop it down. So I was actually thinking ahead. And now that it's off, I can duplicate it even easier for the front. Okay, so I moved the cab forward. I'd say it's 2.5 inches. I think that's going to be good. What do you guys think? I got to get the cab secured because right now I'm just pretty much chasing my tail because I'm trying to move something back there and then this moves and vice versa. So I'm going to get that secured exactly where I want it, and then we'll start monkeying with that stuff. So anyways, I think it looks good. What do you guys think? Comment, please. I just want to talk to somebody. Does anybody need a pair of rust-free fenders? Guaranteed never to rust. They're fiberglass. I bought them at F100 Nationals 2 years ago. I don't know. I paid $200 for them. I don't know. They're great for mock-up. Anybody else have them? Have you ever actually used them? Let me know. We're going to take a quick break in the action. I got to clean this garage. I'm tired of tripping over stuff. So anyways, I'll be back in a little bit. Bye. Casey from High Octane Garage. Why don't you come get this when it's time to start doing some airbag stuff? Huh? Let me know. It's going to be soon. All right. So there may come a time during your project that you just don't know what to do. You maybe think that you're in over your head, or man, I wish I wouldn't have cut that into a bunch of pieces. But just stop and think about it. Maybe use some of your resources. Like for me, F100 World on Facebook, there's like 35,000 people on there, and they all are enthusiasts of things that I'm doing, like the old slicks, anything old Ford. If it's an F100, I guarantee if you have a question, one of them people have to know, and I'm sure they'd be more than happy to let you know. So, also, it's 2023. The internet, you can Google search anything. You might get 10 different answers, but there might be 10 different ways to do this. So just think about it. Don't get overwhelmed. It's going to be all right. I just had one of those moments. I'm like, how am I going to get these hinges to work right? I was like, should I just make it a regular, crew cab? It seems like it'd just be easier at this point, but I'm like, you know what? For 3 months, I've been saying it's a suicide door crew cab. So guess what? It's a suicide door crew cab. So anyways, don't get flustered. Oh, another thing. Maybe one of your buddies might know a little something. You never know. Have them come over. Put some different eyeballs on it. Anything. Just don't stop working on stuff. Okay, that's it. Anyways, I'm almost done cleaning the garage. I just figured I'd stop and maybe, talk your ear off for a minute. So, sun's coming up. So I haven't decided if I'm just going to build something custom in here for my hinges, or I was looking on Facebook the other day and a guy named Rick Hicks has a suicide door. It's not a full door, but it is a crew cab. It looks like he left it original, but then put the hinges inside of it. And that looks, it's basically like what we got over here. It'd be like this. So there'd be a hinge pocket here, and then he may have just cut one right there. I'll put a picture of it in right now so you guys can see it. Sorry, I'm kind of jumping all over the place. Anyways, I got the cab exactly where I want it. So I'm going to tack it down right now, and then we can go from there, because everything moving around just wasn't working. So we're just gonna check this one more time. Think I like it. Just guessing 2 1/4 maybe. And I got one sitting right here for a reference. I don't think it gets much closer than that. Good enough. I like it. All right, back to it. Let's weld her down. Woohoo! Bouncing back and forth, making sure everything's square. It's kind of hard to find a good spot to measure off of, but I used the rails underneath the cab and then went off the frame, so we got her right where she needs to be. Success. All right, the cab is absolutely perfect. Just kidding. It's as good as I can get it, and I'm good with that. So now we got to do some math here. So this door is 37.5. Okay? We need 37.5 from right there to right there. Well, actually not 37.5. We want about 1/4 inch panel gap. So we'll go 38 inches. So I'm going to weld that piece back on here for the time being. And we'll get our measurement, and we'll get this tacked down as well. Let's go. Okay, I got both sides absolutely perfect. I don't even want to tell you how much time it actually took to get it, but it's extremely crucial that both sides are the same. I mean, you don't want your truck looking like it was just pieced together. Or dog tracking down the road or any of that other good stuff. That doesn't look right. It might look cool when it's sitting there, but if it's taking up 2 lanes when you're driving it, well, that ain't gonna fly. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna weld this down, and then we'll start finally getting some doors on this thing for real this time. All right, the bottom is all braced, all welded, good to go. Now I'm going to pull some measurements, and I'm going to need to brace the top as well. I don't want anything moving, because that could cause some serious problems. So, all right, I'll get that welded. Let's go. Okay, so I got that back in there. This panel gap's a little bit tight, but I should be able to shim the latch. And then that'll close this in. I am going to have to cut all of this off. And it looks like I didn't quite have it straight. I don't know. It's probably hard for you guys to see. This should be coming up at least another 1/4 of an inch over. So otherwise, this is looking fairly good. I actually need to take another 1/2 inch out of this and then pull all this together so that all these panel gaps look correct. We're getting there. A lot of screwing around trying to get it to look right, but it'll be worth it. We'll get it figured out. No, I got to cut a bunch of the inside of the door out too because it catches, so it's not getting all the way in there just yet, but otherwise, everything looks pretty straight as an arrow. I'm really happy with it. So, well, after staring at this for countless minutes, I think I am going to cut another door in half. I got extras. Why not? Cut it right down the middle. Everything will be the way it's supposed to be. The interior access panel right here will be gigantic because I'm not going to put a crank window in this. It's just going to be one solid piece of glass in there, and then I'm going to tint it. But it's a little bit above my pay grade. Maybe if we run out of stuff to do this winter or whatever, I'll look into making something that cranks up and down. But for right now, I don't really care. As long as it's closed. I don't plan on riding back there. So next week episode, hopefully we can try to figure out how to get that motor out of there. We also need to get some of this stuff put away for winter time. I got 2 bench seats that got to go in the crew cab. This stuff is for a different project, so I think what I'm going to do is push all that outside because there really isn't that much room in here right now, and I can't stand it. And I'm not going to be cooped up in here all winter working on this stuff with no room. So next week will be winterizing and getting everything ready, and then we'll probably hopefully get at least that door hung correctly. And who knows what else. I might change my mind. Oh, also, I found that piece that I cut out of that other side. So I may be welding that back in because I think it's going to give it a clean look. But we'll figure it out. Well, that's going to do it for this week's episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I know I did. And I look forward to seeing you next Sunday. And if you want to, feel free to subscribe. And definitely hit the like button. It's pretty important. Helps the channel grow. You've heard it from every other guy that does YouTube. So try not to wear it out too much. Anyways, see you next Sunday. Hope you guys have a great week. Bye. For any of you guys that think that it's running downhill, the cab, it actually is. But the cab itself is straight, but not quite sitting level on the frame itself. So once I get everything completely done, then I'll level it up with the frame. But for now, it was just convenient. It's straight, and I like it. And there might be wrong ways to do it, and this is probably the wrong way. I should have just built it all on the floor, but by the time it was said and done, it'd probably been so damn heavy, I wouldn't have been able to pick it up anyway. So this is what I'm doing. Anyways, see you next week. Bye. I just can't get this boy out of this truck. You gonna help me work on this one?